This project is so whimsical and darling to have in your home, especially if you love snowmen. I'm going to take 3 of these planks. Using my Crop-A-Dile, I'm going to punch some holes out. On 2 of the planks, I'm going to do 4, 1 in each corner, and then on the 3rd plank, I'm only going to punch out 2 holes on the same side. So you can see here 2 is on this one, and the other ones have 4. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and paint these all white. Now, if you wanted to make a really cool gift, at this point, you could ditch the idea and not do a snowman. You could end up doing a really beautiful display of family photos on these wood planks, or something with really neat sayings that are memorable and special to you and your family as a gift for a loved one. Now, I'm going to use some wire. I'm going to fasten those holes together. You can see here that they are all situated where the very last one doesn't, with missing those extra holes, that's the very bottom, because we want that to be nice and clean where there's not another one that's jointing together. And then on the other side where there's the extra holes, that's going to be where we have our hang-up wire to be able to hang it up on a hook, a wall, a Christmas tree, whatever you want. So I ended up using wire. You could use twine, you could use embroidery thread, you can use a lot of different things to combine these holes all together. Once I've got all my wire in place, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of distressing first. You could always skip the distressing. I know it's kind of hit and miss for a lot of people, but I like a little distressing. I'm going to add on the 2 cute eyes, some dots for the coal smile, and for the carrot nose, I didn't want to just do a straight line across like you can see sometimes in decor. I made it a little bit more rough and bumpy looking. I thought that was a really cute detail. It made the carrot look a little more dimensional. Now I'm going to take some of these darling wood cutouts that are snowflakes. I thought that this was such a fun touch to put on our little snow person we're making here. And I'm going to just add on Mod Podge after I've got those glued in place. And this is going to allow us to bond on my glitter I've been using a lot this season. I picked this glitter up at Walmart. I had a lot of people asking me over this last couple of weeks. It's in their craft section. It's a sugar glitter and a chunkier glitter. And those two combined make the most beautiful frosty texture. You can see that I added some of that Mod Podge to the buttons and as well to certain sides of my little snow person, snowman, and the top of the carrot nose. Once those are all done, I'm going to add on a bow. You can use any kind of bow you want to match your decor. I really love the red and white for Christmas time, so I'm using this ticking stripe fabric. And then after that, and all of the glitter has been put in place, you really can customize this however you want and just have fun with it. I'm going to be using this milk jug that I picked up from the Dollar Tree and their Dollar Plus section that was $3. You can find these sometimes at thrift stores, but I loved this one because it already had the vinyl work on it. Now we're going to be taking some foam and putting that down in there with some hot glue to secure it into place, and then we're going to be building up the foam, because what we're going to do next, once we've got all this foam in place and nice and tight and snug, we are going to take 2 of these Christmas trees from the Dollar Tree and we are going to turn it into a very high-end looking Christmas tree. Now I know I didn't show this Spanish moss at the very beginning, but I love this stuff and I think it's a great filler, and I think a lot of people have this in their craft room, so I just thought I would share that you don't have to do this option. You could honestly put at the bottom whatever you want to conceal that foam, but I like using a little bit of that moss in there because I just think it adds that pretty Christmas texture in there that you would see at the bottom of a Christmas tree out in nature. Now I'm going to take these 2 trees that are $1 from the Dollar Tree, well, $1.25 now. And I'm going to pop off the bottoms, and we don't need the supports. And what we're going to do is we are going to take these two trees and flatten out their branches so that we can zip tie them together. Once we've got it zip tied nice and snug at the bottom, kind of a little bit above the bottom, couple branches up, I'm going to zip tie that there with a black zip tie. You can also get those at the Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to come up almost all the way to the top of where the rod is inside that the branches are all tied to. Zip tie it there as well so it's nice and snug. Now the reason why I like doubling up these trees is it just overall makes it look a lot thicker, more fuller, more high end. One tree by itself you could do it, but I just always think it looks kind of skimpy and I don't like it as much. So then I'm going to just work that down into the foam, and you can see how that moss in there really is just concealing the foam so you don't see it, and it just makes it look so beautiful. Then at this point I'm just going to fluff it, and it's ready to be displayed in your home for Christmas. You're going to be using this glass vase, a terracotta pot, and one of these LED battery operated candle lights. Start by taking some white paint and put a coat over your terracotta pot. This dries pretty quickly, but if you're having an issue with it drying or taking too long, you can use a heat gun. I love using my heat gun because not only does it dry paint really quickly, it also helps me take off those stickers once you heat up the adhesive on the stickers. Now I'm going to take my E6000 and I'm going to take my hot glue for a long-term, short-term hold. The hot glue locks it in place quickly while that E6000 takes time to dry. Now don't forget to flip it over because there is a hole in that terracotta pot, and that glue will want to come out onto your craft table and make a giant mess. So once I got that bottom on, I flipped it over and let it dry for a little bit. Now I'm just adding some greenery and some berry garland because I just think that that's so pretty for Christmas. You can honestly just put a bow if you want to with a ribbon, whatever you would like at this point. It's so many different possibilities that you have to create and decorate this. Now I'm going to also add on these three darling little berries, and then for my candle I'm going to add some hot glue to the bottom base, go down in there with my pliers to make sure it doesn't flip over on accident, and kind of guide it in and glue it into place. This is going to allow you to have that base in there nice and secure. It also cleans up the inside of the glass so you don't see that terracotta in there on the glass, because you can see that it's clear see-through. So now I'm going to come in with some brown paint, give it a little bit of a rustic charm look with some distressing, add on a ticking stripe bow, and I'm just going to pop that right underneath the berries because I just think that is so darling. And at this point, it's ready to light up and put on a table. I had this idea pop in my head. I thought, how cute would it be if I took these square planks and I turned them into a stack of tumbling Christmas presents. So I'm taking one of these wood bases, a plaque that you can get from the Dollar Tree in their wood section. I drilled down 2 holes just to make the sticks a little stronger, and I glued them into place. Then I took these 3 squares, I painted one a really bright fun green, one white, and then the other one I'm putting on white burlap and cutting it down so you have this really pretty texture on the wood. I really love how that turned out. Once the glue was dried on my wood base and my sticks that are gonna have the presents go up it, so this looks very store high-end looking, I'm gonna paint that all black and then set it aside again. Now I'm gonna take the back of my brush and some black paint, and I'm gonna create a really cute staggered polka dot look on one of the presents. There was something about doing this that reminded me of like Kate Spade I don't know what it is, but I love polka dots, and I thought this was a really fun detail to that present in particular. Then you can see at this point that I'm adding on some bows to my presents. This is going to add all kinds of fun texture, and you really could customize this however you want. On the front of my burlap present, I'm going to add this pretty green silky ribbon and a little bow right in the middle. And then on the polka dot, I'm going to add the red ribbon by wrapping it around and adding a big bow to the top. And the green present, I used some ticking stripe fabric that I had on hand that I've been using all this Christmas season. And then I'm going to add a little wreath right tucked underneath that big red bow. I think these 3 presents are so adorable. You really could customize them to whatever your home decor colors are. At this point, I'm going to start by gluing on the middle present first, because I'm going to kind of make it off-centered. You can see that it's tilted and tipping over to the side like a stack of presents, just kind of going wonky and tumbling all over the place. Then I put on the bottom present, and then the last, I'm trimming up the bow once I knew the length I wanted for the top present, and I'm going to twist that to the other side. I really love the idea of them going back and forth, kind of twisting, making them look very topsy-turvy for a cute stack of presents. Now at this point, because I like the farmhouse look, I'm going to come in and distress it a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but I love that different dimension to that distressed look. You could leave it as is and not do the distressing. I'm going to take some green garland, twist 2 of them together. These are those ties that you can use to add up your garland to like a banister, a mantle. You use them to twist things together. I'm going to use those to wrap around the bottom of my cute stand that I have here. Add on some darling pine cones to the top red bow and down to the base. And at this point, friends, this was so much fun to make.